Everyone, I welcome you all, and yes, today we are going to study about sentences. Yes, what are sentences? Sentences are group of words that make complete sense. Or a sentence is a group of words that gives you complete meaning. All right. So you all have to read the following words. If I'm saying that it is only a group of words, whom do you call sentence? No. Group of words that gives you complete meaning, that gives you complete sense, is known as sentence. You all can see here some words had written like book. Let me move to the previous slide. Yes, like move, the book, table. All right, but it's not giving you complete sense. That's why it's known as sentence. Yes, so the book the mine is stable on the, is this sentence, is this, are these group of words give you any sense? Is this a group of sentence is known as sentence? No, it's not. All right, we didn't call it sentence because it's not giving us proper sense, it's not giving us sense. All right, now just observe this sentence, the book on the table is mine. I think you are getting sense from this sentence, the book on the table is mine. Okay, so yes, this is sentence, means a group of words which gives you complete sense, that is known as sentence. All right, that gives you sense. The theater is near my house. Yes, it's giving you a sense also, so it is also a sentence. Now I'm moving to the features of sentence. So what are the features? Let's know quickly. A sentence consists of a group of words that makes complete sense. It has a verb. All right, first, if you think that it should be a sentence, it must have subject, verb and object. All right, and it always begins with a capital letter. All right, and yes, the next thing is that the words in a sentence are written in a proper order. So what are the orders? The first subject will come, then verb will come, and then object. This is the proper order. All right, and the next is it has a subject and predicate. So what is subject and predicate? We had already discussed it many times, what is subject and what is predicate. All right, and the next one is a sentence ends with either a full stop, a question mark or exclamation mark. First you have to go through the sentence, and then you have to use punctuation mark according to the sentence. Like if it is a assertive sentence or declarative sentence, then you have to use there a full stop only. If it is a question mark or interrogative sentence, then you need to question mark also. And if it is a imperative sentence, then you have to use full stop. And yes, if it is a surprising sentence, then you have to need exclamation mark. All right, so now what is phrase? Phrase is also a group of words that gives you sense, but it not gives you a complete sense. All right, that's why we call it phrase. Means phrase is also a group of words that gives you sense, but they will not give you complete sense. That's why we called it phrase. For example, here you all can say it's a group of word that is written with a spoon, in the auditorium, last month, in spite of. It's a group of word, and I think you are also getting meaning from this. Yes, it is clear that it's not giving you full meaning, right? That's why it is known as phrase. We cannot call any group of words a phrase. If you are thinking like I had already discussed now with you all that we cannot say all types of groups, words of groups, a sentence. All right, because it should give you meaning. Same happens with phrase also. We cannot say that any group of words is a phrase. All right, it should make sense. Okay, so you all can look at the first one, example of first one, played park the. Are you getting any sense? No, not at all. All right, so you are not getting any sense, so it's not an example of phrase. But look at this sentence, a good sense, a good student. Yes, you are getting a sense, ek acha vidyarthi. All right, so yes, it's a phrase. Now let's come to the exercise, that is underline the phrase in these sentences. Some examples are given and you have to underline the phrase. Let's observe quickly. The first one is the garden was full of red roses. I had already told you that phrases do not include subject and verb. All right, so just remove subject and remove verb also. So what had left? Full of red roses. All right, so just tell me, are you getting meaning from these group of words or not? Yes, of course you are getting meaning from these group of words, so it's a phrase. So underline this. She is always in a hurry. Again you have to do the same, just remove the subject and verb and you are getting in a hurry. Are you getting sense from in a hurry? Yes, of course you are getting a meaning from in a hurry. So yes, in a hurry is a phrase. This water is not fit for drinking, so just find out the phrase fit for drinking. All right, so just underline it. In spite of starting late, we reached in time. So here two phrases had given. The first one is in spite of and the second one is in time. Alright, so I'm moving to the next slide. It's very easy. What you have to do, you have to just tick in the given boxes if they are sentence. If they are giving you sense, it means it's sentence, and if you are finding that it is sentence, just tick on the given boxes. Alright, so the first one is will not be. Are you getting any sense? Not at all. You are not getting any sense because it's not a proper arrangement of subject or verb and object. Alright, so it's only verb had given, so it cannot be a subject, so just cross here. And the next one is I'm very glad that you came. Are you getting a sense? Yes, I'm very glad. मैं बहुत खुश हूँ कि तुम आए. So this is a sentence, so just tick here. How long have you been staying here? Are you getting meaning? Yes, the sentence started with capital letter and it's ending here with the question mark also. So yes, this one is also correct. Tick here. What a beautiful dress. Yes, it's also correct. So just it's a sentence and tick here. The next is no one has gone. If you observe this sentence, you will get to know that full stop is missing, right? So it's not a sentence, just cross here. It's a probability. You all can see that again it's not proper order of groups, and you all can see that not full stop is also missing. So this one is also wrong. India's victory, nothing is cleared by the sentence. All right, only India's victory has written. India's victory for what? Nothing is mentioned here, so just cross it. It's wrong. The next is I enjoyed every moment of the game. Yes, this one is correct. The sentence starts with I, that is capital, and it ends with full stop also, so this one is correct. Tick here. Please ask her to come inside. It's a kind of imperative sentence. It starts with capital letter and ends with full stop. This one is also correct. He has gone to school. It also starts with capital H and it ends with the object, and you will get here full stop also. So yes, this one is also correct. Moving to the next slide. Now you have to tell me about parts of a sentence. So a sentence is made up of two parts, that is subject and predicate. So what is subject? Subject is also known as naming part. All right, it is the part of the sentence which tells you who or what the sentence is about. Alright, we will get to know what the sentence is about. Whom are we talking in the sentence? So this one is subject. What is predicate? Predicate is that part of sentence which tells you something about the subject. For example, the actors performed well. So just ask a question starting with who or what. If you will ask the question who performed well, then you will get the answer, the actor. So actor is here what? So actors is here subject. Alright. Since it tells you what the sentence is about, and he performed well, so it's a predicate. All right, so you all can write the definition which I'm showing you here. A sentence must have a subject and predicate. Subject is known as naming part and predicate is known as telling part. So I'm just writing the definition of both here. Subject is the person or thing that you are talking about, and predicate tells what someone or something is or does. Alright, so yes, let's observe these sentences also. Babies cry. The lights are on. The Indian team won the match. The father's best friend gave him present. So if you observe these sentences, you will get to know that subject may have one part, it may have two words, it may have three words, and it may have more than three words. So don't worry if sometime you are getting a sentences like that which is having more than four words, and if you are thinking no, it cannot be subject, then you are totally wrong. A subject may have a group of four words, three words, more than four words. All right, same happens with predicate also. Now we all had seen that subject is always found in the first part of the sentence, but that is not always true. Just observe here. At one corner of the room sat the princess. Alright, At one corner of the room sat the princess. Just ask a question, who sat at the corner of the room. Ask a question starting with who, then you will get to know who sat at the corner of the room. That is a princess. All right, so princess is subject over here. So we all had observed from the previous slide, we all had observed in the previous slide that subject we mainly get at the first part of the sentence, but it's not always true. Sometimes you will get at the end of the sentence as well. The next is, in that jungle lived a lion. So who lived in a jungle, then you will get it is a lion. All right, so lion is subject here. In imperative sentence, the subject is not mentioned. All right, subject mentioned नहीं होता है but implied. For example, let me tell you one example here. Bring me go to the room. All right, go to the room. I'm writing here go to the room. It's an example of imperative and it's an example of order sentence. Go to the room. All right, so you can see here that sentence starting with verb and you are not getting any subject here, but subject is hidden here, like you go to the room. So you is hidden and that is the subject over here. All right, now I'm moving to the let me erase this one. So kinds of sentences. I think it's a let me come to the slides. Assertives, just wait here. For exclamatory sentences, so what are exclamatory sentences? Exclamatory sentences are those sentences, right, which are having a which shows, you know, sudden feelings, sudden emotions, sudden thoughts, sudden grief, you know, that is known as exclamation sentences. So yes, just observe this one. How beautiful she is. One sentence is given, how beautiful she is. So what you have to do is you have to just make it simple sentence, then you will get to know she is how beautiful. All right, she is how beautiful. So if question from the given sentence, then you will get to know, just you have to ask a question starting with who or what. So just ask a question with who is beautiful, then definitely you will get the answer, she is beautiful. So what is she? She is a subject here. All right, and the other parts are predicates. So same as the next example had given, what a good boy John is. So again, just you need to convert in a simple sentence, assertive sentence. John is a good boy. All right, John is what a good boy. All right, so ask a question, who is a good boy, then you will get the answer John. So John is subject and remaining parts are predicate. All right, now I'm coming to the exercise number B. Read the following sentences and identify the subject and predicate. You have to just go through the sentences thoroughly and you have to identify what is subject and predicate in the given part. So how will you do that? You all have to start the question with who or what. All right, then ask the subject. The first part will be the subject and the remaining part will be the predicate. All right, so the first one is, Mahi's batting was flawless in the final match. So just ask a question starting with who or what. Just ask a question. If you are making a question, what was flawless in the final match? What was flawless in the final match? Then you will get the answer, Mahi's batting. So Mahi's batting is subject here and was flawless in the match is predicate. So just write down P here and this part is S. Alright, so the next question is, most parts of Africa are covered with jungle. So just again ask a question starting with who or what. If you are framing a question, what are covered with jungles? What are covered with jungles? Most parts of Africa. So most parts of Africa is subject here and the remaining part is predicate. So you have to tick here most parts of Africa. This one is subject and the other parts is predicate. So write down a subject and then predicate. Alright. The next is, India is a densely populated country. So what is densely which country is densely populated? Or if you ask the question who is densely populated country, then you will get to know that is India. So India is what? India is subject and is densely populated country is a predicate. The next one is the fourth one. The novel Anand Math was written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. So just ask a question, what was written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee? What was written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee? So the novel Anand Math is subject here. The novel Anand Math. Alright, and the rest is predicate. From was written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, it's a predicate. The next question is, we celebrated our grandfather's 85th We celebrated our grandmother's 85th birthday yesterday. So what we celebrate, what, sorry. So just frame a question starting with starting with who celebrated our grandmother's 85th birthday yesterday. Then you will get the answer we. So what is we? We is subject here. So just underline we is subject here, and celebrated grandmother's 85th birthday yesterday, that is a predicate. All right. More national parks are necessary for saving the wildlife. All right. So what are necessary for saving the wildlife? That is more national parks. More national parks. So this one is subject and other parts is predicate. John and Ramesh are selected as school captains. So who are selected as school captains? Who are selected? That is John and Ramesh. So John and Ramesh is subject here, and the remaining parts is predicate. How beautiful the frock is. So the first step is you have to just change it into normal sentence, and then you will get the sentence, the frock is how beautiful. So the just ask a question, what is beautiful, then you will get to know the answer, the frock. So what is frock? Frock is subject, and the remaining part is predicate. All right. Now you have to identify which kind of imperative sentences are they. So open the door. Just wait, I'm just looking for, is there any other exercise for imperative sentence? No. Alright, so just moving again here. Yes. Here some sentences are also given, I think. Yes, the first come to here. He felt sad for his friend, have the medicine regularly. Alright, let me move here again. Yes, so what you have to do, you have to find out which kind of sentences are they. Open the door. Open the door. It's a command sentence. You are just commanding. You are not requesting to anyone. You are not giving advice. You are not giving suggestions. So open the door. It's a command sentence. Stick on the command. Please pass me the salt. In this sentence structure, you are getting please. So please is a requesting word. So this one is request. Go left, then turn right, and there you will find the school. All right. Go left, then turn right, there you will find the school. Go left and then turn right, and there you will find the school. All right. Whenever you just ask anyone what is the way of the school, what is the way of the of this market, then people just suggest you, na? They just give suggestion you. It's up to you whether you follow that suggestion or you will ask any of other man. All right. So the man, this sentence is a kind of suggestion. The next is do take the medicines regularly. All right. So it's also a kind of suggestion that you should take your medicine. All right. It's a kind of advice. All right, that you have to take your medicines regularly. Stop the music at once. It's a command. You should visit a doctor immediately. All right, it's again an advice that it is a severe something and you must visit a doctor immediately, as early as possible. Please help me find my book. So it's a kind of request. Click on there. You can try this medicine, it has no side effects. You can try this medicine, it has no side effect. So this is also a suggestion. It's totally up to you. Would you like this, or would you try that medicine or not? Interrogative sentences. Sentences that are used to ask question are called interrogative sentences. Are you Mrs. Sharma? All right. That may be yes or no type of sentences, or WH type of sentences. Interrogative sentences of two kinds I had already discussed with you all. Yes and no kind of questions, and then WH question. This is known as yes and no type of question, and this is known as WH type of question. You should remember that. You should remember that is an interrogative sentence. We place the auxiliary verb before the subject, and we always put a question mark at the end of interrogative sentence. We had already discussed now. That is always that we just put the auxiliary verb at the first. You all can see here now. R is putting at the first of the sentence, first part of the sentence here. And yes, it always ends with the question marks. Examples. You all can see here, it's a normal example or it's a assertive sentence. They have bought sweets. It's a kind of statement. and in statement it is an assertive sentence. So yes, what how we can change it into interrogative sentence? Just put the have at the you know first part of the sentence in starting. Have they bought sweets? So it is a question sentence now, and you have to just put a question mark here also. Is the in the interrogative sentence be, the auxiliary verb is placed before the subject. You all can see that it is placed before the subject, and question mark is used at the end of the sentence. This thing is very important when you are arranging any normal sentence into interrogative sentence. Structure of interrogative sentence: are you Mrs. Sharma? So what you have done, you have just put auxiliary verb first and then subject, and later on the subject. All right, other part, then object. The above sentence is an example of a yes or no questions, which means a question that can be answered in yes or no. For example, if someone is asking, are you Mrs. Sharma? Then you will say, no, I'm not Mrs. Sharma. Or you will say, yes, I am Mrs. Sharma. So that's why these sentences are known as yes or no types of question sentences. Such a question begins with an auxiliary verb. You all can see it begins with an auxiliary verb. And what are auxiliary verbs? Like is, do, have, can, was, were, had. Alright. Example, what are you looking for? So here you all can see it is a WH type question, and in WH type question we just put the WH word first, and after that auxiliary verb, and after auxiliary verb we put the subject, and at the end we just put interrogative marks. The above sentence is an example of WH question. These question cannot be answered in yes or no. For example, what are you looking for? You will say yes, I'm looking for. No, you will not answer like this. If someone is asking what are you looking for, then you will say yes, I'm looking for a good shop, I'm looking for a doctor, a clinic, I'm looking for something else, whatever you are just looking for, you will just answer. You will not say yes, I'm looking for, right? That is not yeah, yes or no type question. That is a WH type of question, and you in that question you have to answer. All right. WH begins with interrogative pronouns. So what are interrogative pronouns? Like who, whom, whose. Alright, to ask a question. These are used only for person. So who has written this letter? Then you will say who, na? Here person will come. Anil has written this letter. Whose bag is this? Now it's a Sonal's bag, means the person who is related with that. The next is whom do you want to reward? So I want to reward Alka. So these interrogative pronouns, these are used to ask question, and that is mainly used for the persons. The next is, you all can check here, interrogative sentence that is starts with who, and that is subject. Whom refers to the object, like who called you, or whom are you calling. Alright, nowadays people are just using who at the place of whom. Alright, they had just make a substitution of whom, that is who. In written English, we generally use the form given in the sentence as it is formal. In spoken English, we generally use the form given in sentence be, is it, informal. Alright, that is who. Moving to the next slide. Now, what and which are also interrogative pronouns that can be used for both persons and things. Alright, for example, what is he? He is a doctor. What is she? She is a professor. So it means what and which both can be used for persons as well as things. Here just observe more example. What is used for person to inquire about their trade or profession also, and what is also used to refer to things, like what is in the bag. Alright, so my clothes are in the bag. Now it's showing to the things. You are just inquire whatever kept in her bag. The next is, what are you eating? I'm eating an apple. It's a thing also. Which is used when we ask about things or about one particular thing in a group. For examples, which is your bottle? Which of these paintings have you made? Alright, so which is also used to ask question about person when we have to select person from a group, like which of you gave the application. It's indicating a group now. Which of you, there are many members in that group, and you are asking which of you had given the application. Alright, so yes, the next one is which of the boy is ready to play. It's again indicating a group. So which is always used to indicate to a person or a group also. Alright, Select a person from a group. All right, the next is interrogative adjectives. Interrogative adjectives also used to ask question: what snacks, which girl, whose book, which pen. All right, how many. So these are adjectives. And the next is adverbs also, like where, when, how often, how long, how soon. So these are interrogative adverbs. These are also used to make interrogative sentences. The next one is change the following into interrogative sentences by arranging the order of words. So they are going to a party. So what you have to do, you need to put this auxiliary verb first and a subject after that auxiliary verb. So what will be the sequence? Are they going to the party? Same you have to do. They are coming now, just put the are before the they, and then what will you get? Are they coming now? And at the end put a question mark. The next is history is her favorite subject. Again you have to put this auxiliary verb first. So what is the sentence now? Is history her favorite subject, so put the question mark as well. The next is you are Mr. Gupta. So again put the auxiliary verb first. Are you Mr. Gupta? The next is the movie was boring. So put the helping verb again before the subject, that is was the movie boring. All right, the next is he is playing with them. Again put the auxiliary verb before the subject. Is he playing with them? And put interrogation mark or question marks at the end of the sentence. They will come at 4 o'clock. So again put auxiliary verb first. Will they come at 4 o'clock? And put a question mark here. The next is Tanu and Manu will come to the wedding. So again put the question mark here. Will Tanu and Manu come to the wedding? And the next is they are at home. So again put this auxiliary verb first. Now it's in now what you will get, are they at home? And put a question mark also. The last is Meenu has invited you to the party. So has Meenu invited you to the party? And put an interrogative mark, or you can say a question mark there. All right. So yes, what is exclamatory sentence? Exclamatory sentences help in communicate strong feelings, surprise, admiration, appreciation, wonder and shock. We had already discussed. So let's go through the examples. What a beautiful baby he is. How wonderful the painting is. So let's come to the structure of sentence. An exclamatory sentence begins with what or how, and it is followed by an exclamation mark, you all can see at the end of the sentence. The next is for emphasis, the word order is alerted in an exclamatory sentence. How? He is a beautiful baby. So just change it into exclamatory sentence. What we will do, we just put what first. All right, exclamatory sentence with a different word order. So what you have to do, put what first, what, and now a beautiful baby. After what, put a beautiful baby, describing word here, what a beautiful baby. Then put the subject he, and then put the and then you need to put the verb. All right, so yes, exclamatory sentence. Now you can get what a beautiful baby he is. Same you have to do with the painting is wonderful. So how wonderful the painting, put the subject here and is at the last, and then exclamation mark. All right, so yes, change the given assertive sentences into exclamatory sentence. So you have to make a sentence using what or how, and you have to put exclamation marks at the end of the sentence. So just start making it. He is an obedient child. So what we will do, what you have to make a sentence using what an obedient child, then put the subject, right? What an obedient child he is, and then put an exclamation mark. Shakespeare was a prolific writer. What a prolific writer Shakespeare was. What a prolific writer Shakespeare was. And don't forget to put exclamation mark at the end of the sentence. The next is the final match was thrilling. All right. How thrilling, all right, that is describing word now. How thrilling the final match was. How thrilling the final match was. Who has strong muscles? What a strong muscles he has. What are strong muscles? And then you had to put their subject, and at the last we will put the auxiliary verb, and then we put exclamation mark. All right, so what strong muscles he has. It's a colorful dress. What a colorful dress it is. What a colorful dress it is. And do not forget to put exclamation mark at the end of the sentence. I'm repeating it again and again. It was an excited day. All right. What an excited day it was. What an excited day it was. The meal was delicious. What delicious the meal was. What delicious the meal was. The next is, this is an incredible idea. What an incredible idea this is. What an incredible idea this is. So what you have to do, you have to frame a question starting with what and how. Alright, and then what you have to do, you have to put the describing word first, and then you have to use subject, and at the last we put the helping verb and then exclamation mark. Alright, and the next is, it is a alright, this place is desolate. Alright, desolate. So how desolate the place is. The next is, it is a bright morning. What a bright morning. What a bright morning it is. Okay, so yes, I'm moving to the next, that is rearrange the given words to form sentences as directed. Remember to use these marks. All right, Sachin is playing not in the match. So what you have to do, you have to first arrange it, because it's not arranged. After Sachin and after helping verb, not will come. All right, so what will be the sentence? Sachin is not playing in the match. Sachin is not playing in the match. Then put a full stop. Alright, here, come please here, please come here, please, then put comma, and then you have to write come here, please come here, and at the end you have to use full stop also. Listen to me, listen to me. After writing listen to me, you have to put a full stop. I'm moving to the next slide. The weather is lovely. How? So you have to put how first. How lovely. All right, after describing word, how lovely, then the right subject, how lovely the weather is, and don't forget to put exclamation mark. The next is a wonderful performance. What was it? What a wonderful performance it was. What a wonderful performance it was, and don't forget to put exclamation mark. They are returning from Delhi today. So you have to frame it question. So what you have to do, you have to just put the auxiliary verb first. So what will be the sentence structure? Put the are first and then subject. Are they returning from Delhi today? Are they returning from Delhi today? The next is, they will board the train tomorrow. They will board the train tomorrow. So again put the auxiliary verb will first, and then will they board the train tomorrow. Do not forget to put do not forget to put question mark there. The next is, the medicines regularly take. So take the medicines regularly, it's a advice. I had already told you. Take the I think we had discussed here. Take the medicines regularly. I'm just moving to the previous slide. Do take the medicines regularly, it is a kind of advice. Now I had already told you. So yes, it's a kind of advice. Do the take medicines regularly. The next is, sharpen the pencil for me please. Please, after please you have to put comma. Please के बाद कॉमा लगाएंगे, देन वी विल पुट वर्ब. प्लीज़ शार्पन द पेंसिल फॉर मी. एंड आफ्टर राइटिंग दिस सेंटेंस, डोंट फॉरगेट टू पुट फुल स्टॉप. Alright, then last is, you have to change it into affirmative. He will the function attend. So what will we do? He will, and after it main verb come, he will attend the function, and again at the last put full stop. Rearrange the following words to form interrogative sentences and add appropriate punctuation mark. So again you have to, what you have to do, you have to change it interrogative sentence, right? So what you will know, after what will come? Will. So what is the first, and then we will write will is second, what will and you is going to be third, what will you and then do is going to be fifth. What will you do? What will you do with these pockets? What will you do with these pockets? So afterward we will come, and then you have to write you. What will you do with these packets? So and after this at the end of the sentence you have to use question mark. Where you kept? No, where have. After where helping verb auxiliary verb come, where have, and then you have to put there, subject, where where have you, where have you, and then you need to write kept, where have you kept all the stationery, at the end question mark. The next is when you go will to the office, it's again wrong. when के बाद हमारा क्या आएगा, will आएगा, ठीक है. when will, इसके बाद हम क्या करेंगे, सब्जेक्ट लिखेंगे. when will you, then मेन वर्ब पे आएंगे. when will you go to the office, एंड क्वेश्चन मार्क लगाना नहीं भूलेंगे. why you are laughing, again it's wrong, so you have to arrange it after why. हमें पता है कि auxiliary verb आएगा. why are you laughing, why are you laughing, and put question mark. सेम वी विल डू विद द लास्ट सेंटेंस. अगेन आप हु के बाद में हमारा एक्सेलरी वर्ब इज आएगा, हु इज़ कमिंग टू सी यू. ओके, नाउ द लास्ट वन इज रीअरेंज द फॉलोइंग वर्ड्स फ्रॉम एक्सक्लामेटरी सेंटेंस एंड पंक्चुएट देम केयरफुली. सो आपको क्या करना है, इसको एक्सक्लामेटरी सेंटेंस को अरेंज करना है और उसको पंक्चुएट करना है. अ वेल बिहेव्ड चाइल्ड व्हाट यू आर. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी विल राइट what and then describing word. what a well behaved, फिर क्या आएगा, हमारा सब्जेक्ट आएगा. what a well behaved child, alright. What a well behaved child, these are the describing words, and then we write subject. what a well behaved child you, and at the end you have to write are, and then you have to put exclamation mark. Now the next is lovely is the how view. Again start the sentence using how lovely the view is, how lovely the view is. Put the exclamation marks at the end of the sentence. An eloquent speech, what she gave. What an eloquent speech. Afterward you have to write the describing words. What an eloquent speech she gave. What an eloquent speech she gave. The next is the dolls how beautiful are. How beautiful. After how you have to write the describing words. How beautiful the dolls. Then come to the subject, how beautiful the dolls are. A pleasant surprise. What a pleasant surprise. A pleasant surprise. Alright, so yes, it's a value corner. Exclamatory sentence help communicate strong feelings. Your friend has given you a gift on your birthday, then you can say what a gift you gifted. Alright, what a lovely gift it is, what a precious gift it is. So you just make it more valuable using these sentences. Rearrange the following words, make a command, request, advice and instructions, use commas and add punctuation marks where required. So let's finish it quickly. In the library, don't make a noise. So start with the do not make a noise in the library. Do not make a noise in the library. And do not, the D of do not is always written in capital letter like this, do not. Alright, do not make a noise in the library. And at the end of the sentence, do not forget to keep full stop. You my question answer. So what will be the correct sequence? You answer my question. You answer my question. The next is take medicines regularly. You are. You take your medicines regularly. You take your medicines regularly. Alright. Fetch me please a glass chilled water of. Fetch me. Please fetch me. First write please. Please fetch me a glass of chilled water. Please fetch me a glass of chilled water. The next is walk on the grass. Please don't. Please do not walk on the grass. Please do not walk on the grass. Alright. So I think we all know that what is sentence. Sentence is a group of words that make complete sense. It has a verb and it always begins with a capital letter. It also have a subject and predicate. The sentence is of 4 types: assertive, exclamatory, imperative and interrogative. Assertive is divided into 2 parts, that is you know that is positive sentence and that is negative sentence. All right, and then imperative is divided, the imperative is not divided. Interrogative is divided into two parts. Imperative of four kinds, that is command sentence, and that may be request sentence, that may be suggestions also, that may be advice also. So what is exclamatory? Exclamatory sentences are those sentences who expresses certain feelings, certain emotions. And what is interrogative? Interrogative are question sentences. All right, and it is of two types, yes or no types of sentences, and wh type of sentences. A group of words that make sense but not complete sense, that is known as phrase, like full of stars, full of love. A sentence generally has two parts, that is subject and predicate. Subject tells what or who or the subject is about, and predicate tells what the subject is doing in the sentence. All right, so I think it's clear to all of you. And yes, if you like the effort by me, please like and subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you so much for watching.